Welcome back to the NOAC Project. Today is November 1st, and it's a national celebration for veganism. So happy World Vegan Day, guys. I'd like to talk a little bit more about this today, just, the whole stigma behind veganism. So around 400,000 people each year transition to veganism, and this could be for many reasons. A few of them could be they realize the pain and the horror of the dairy industry. They want to do it for health reasons, or they just want to, right? And more about this later. Veganism has a lot of positives, despite what people say. There are so many fun parts of veganism that people refuse to accept because they think they love meat and milk. And I'll talk a little bit more about this as we get into the video. So, just a few common myths between veganism. The first one is being vegan is expensive. So, a lot of places do sell extremely expensive high-end vegan products, but you can find a lot of affordable options at your local grocery store. And one of the biggest myths that I feel is big is you don't get enough protein and nutrients when you're vegan. Even my parents say that, if you don't drink milk, it's really hard to get your calcium intake and your protein. But the reality is you can get plenty of protein and nutrients from nuts, veggies, soy, and fruits, as long as you eat the right amount, of course. The other myth is veganism is restrictive. So this is partially true, right? Because a minority of the world is vegan, but even though they are available less, there are multiple options in restaurants and grocery stores. Many restaurants also offer impossible meat and soy protein dishes, and they're equally as tasty and filled with nutrients and protein as well. I think the biggest lie I'd say is there are no health benefits to veganism. I think the biggest part of veganism is its health benefits, right? And I'll go a little bit into this more later. Being vegan is too hard. This is partially true. I mean, when I was transitioning into vegan Wednesdays after being a heavy milk intake person, it was definitely hard after seeing ice cream, cake, and to the point where sometimes I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go and eat the ice cream. But if you control yourself, after 1 to 2 weeks, you'll actually love being a vegan because you can make ice cream, pasta, all these dairy products without milk, and it'll taste equally as good. And the biggest thing I like to highlight is veganism doesn't mean just eating veggies, because if you just substitute the milk and meat for an alternative that's vegan, you can make anything that's the same and it's going to taste better or equal. Just a little bit about the dairy industry. It's a cunning business that lies to your face to make you think that drinking milk is totally normal. A little bit about this, you can just read a little bit, and if you're more interested, you can visit our in-depth series video on cows. So, in terms of the positives, back to what I was saying earlier, humans that eat meat are 40% likely more to get cancer than those who don't. People who eat meat are 30% more likely to die of heart attack than vegetarians. Some other direct vegan positives, it promotes weight loss, it manages diabetes by lowering A1C levels, it may lower your blood pressure and cholesterol. It's very beneficial for gut health, could be anti-inflammatory and support healthy skin, and it's a very nutritious way and fun way of eating. Other positives to veganism, obviously saving animals from the torture and dairy meat industry. Sustainable environment. That's something that we really need to focus on for our future because climate change. Factory farming is a big contribution to climate change. There is some research proving that veganism can promote good health. You get the peace of knowing that animals are living because you chose to avoid eating milk and meat. And a high amount of milk intake and meat intake can lead to hormonal imbalances, and some diseases like PCOS partially occur because of this. Recipes. On Google, there are multiple recipes of tasty food that you can make vegan. Check them out today. TheListLife.com has multiple vegan recipes, including some desserts that are 3-ingredient hot fudge. So, vegan meat and milk alternatives. So, I know I kept telling you guys that, hey, there are alternatives, but what are they? Soy milk. It's high in fiber and protein, but it's a little chunky. Depends on what you like. Oat milk is my favorite, personally. It tastes a lot more like milk, and it's best for like tea baking. Almond milk is very creamy and rich in taste. And coconut milk is great for tea, coffee. It's very kind of fibery, but it also has that milk taste. There are multiple meat alternatives like lab grown meat. Personally, I've always been a vegetarian, so I can't really talk much about this, but soy chunks, impossible meat, lab grown meat, these are great alternatives because they save the animals and they taste pretty much the same. So like I said, you can eat whatever dairy and milk products that you want as long as you substitute the milk or meat with a vegan alternate. It's healthier for you and way better for the environment and our amazing animals. Thank you, and make sure to go vegan today.